There may be nothing like a mother's love, but as a father, Xenophilius Lovegood certainly comes close. Editor of the Quibbler magazine and father to Luna Lovegood, his peculiar behaviour and beliefs throughout is a clear sign that his influence over Luna is very effective, due to her appearing so similar to him and displaying many of his quirky traits. Let's take a look at his story. The name Xenophilius comes from the two Greek words, xenos meaning strange, and phile meaning love. As opposed to xenophobe, one who fears the strange, his name means one who loves the strange. Little is known about the early childhood of Xenophilius. He was born into the Lovegood family and attended Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, where he was sorted into Ravenclaw House. It's not clear what his blood status is, as there isn't any background information on the Lovegood name. He married his longtime partner Pandora, and together they had a daughter, Luna. Xenophilius and Pandora raised Luna together up until Pandora's untimely death. She was experimenting with magic and one of her experiments went horribly wrong. What's worse is the fact that it happened right in front of Luna, which gave Luna the ability to see Thestrals at a very young age. It could be argued that Luna was most likely the only one of her year who could see Thestrals, peacefully informing Harry Potter he wasn't crazy when he first realised his ability. Xenophilius created a magazine called The Quibbler, in which he wrote about his obscure beliefs, theoretical possibilities, and his discoveries of wildly unknown creatures, including the crumple-horned Snorkak, a creature who many did not believe existed. He loved to read obscure theoretical material, no surprise there, and attended several of his favourite author Eldred Warple's book signings. It is highly likely that Xenophilius shared his ridiculous beliefs with Warple, as the latter remembered him as a seriously unbalanced man when they did meet. In 1994, Xenophilius and Luna watched the final of the Quidditch World Cup, Ireland vs Bulgaria, and were not involved or hurt in the attacks at the campsite afterwards. 2 years later, in 1996, Xenophilius published Harry Potter's story about the night he saw Lord Voldemort return, and sent Harry a free copy. This was the fastest selling edition of the Quibbler ever, even being reprinted at least once before Mr. Lovegood sold the story to the Daily Prophet. The Lovegoods used the money received from selling the story to the Prophet to travel to Sweden over the summer to search for a crumple-horned Snorkak. When Rufus Scrimgeour became Minister for Magic, Xenophilius planned to print a story in the Quibbler stating that Scrimgeour was a vampire. However, the ministry stepped in and prevented him from printing the story. Xenophilius believed that this was because the ministry did not want the truth to get out. In the summer of 1997, Xenophilius and Luna attended Bill Weasley and Fleur Delacour's wedding at the Burrow. There, Xenophilius got into a heated argument with Victor Krum over the necklace he was wearing. The Deathly Hallows symbol was marked on the walls of Durmstrang Castle, and many associated, including Victor, as the representation of Gellert Grindelwald, the Dark Wizard who killed many of the Durmstrang students' relatives when he was in power over 50 years ago. After the Ministry of Magic fell under the control of Lord Voldemort, the Daily Prophet fell under the control of the Death Eaters as well. The Quibbler, however, continued to print the truth, and Xenophilius made his support of Harry Potter very clear. Xenophilius' public support of Harry Potter eventually got him into trouble with the Death Eaters. Many speculated why the Death Eaters had let him get away with it for so long. They kidnapped his daughter and held her hostage at Malfoy Manor. Xenophilius intended to do whatever it took to get her back. He agreed to publish anti-Potter articles in the Quibbler, following the line of the Voldemort-dominated ministry, with Harry being depicted as undesirable number 1 on the front page of his magazine. When he was visited by Harry, Ron and Hermione later in the year, Xenophilius alerted the Death Eaters, hoping they would return Luna in exchange. While waiting for their arrival, Xenophilius told the trio about the Deathly Hallows. He explained that the symbol was worn by believers and seekers of the Hallows to identify themselves to one another. When Harry grew suspicious of him after realising that Luna had not been home in some time, Xenophilius attempted to stun Harry and his friends. Harry pushed Hermione and Ron out of the way, causing him to miss, instead hitting an erumpent horn and causing his house to collapse inward. The Death Eaters Travers and soon arrived and briefly tortured Xenophilius, believing that he was trying to trick them about Harry being at his home. However, after the human presence revealing spell revealed that there were indeed others in the house, the Death Eater sent Xenophilius up the stairs. Hermione rapidly wiped his memory of what they had discussed with him and then blasted a hole through the floor to facilitate the trio's escape, engineering it so that the Death Eater saw that Harry was indeed there, thus ensuring that neither Xenophilius nor Luna were punished for lying, and so that neither saw Ron, who was supposed to be at home sick with Spattergroit. After the trio's escape, Xenophilius was arrested and sent to Azkaban. His attempted betrayal was unknown, with the anti-Potter issue of the Quibbler buried under the debris of his home and never distributed. He was released after Voldemort's defeat in May of 1998. Luna, in the meantime, was rescued by the house elf Dobby from Malfoy Manor and survived the war. Harry, Ron and Hermione preserved Xenophilius' reputation and never revealed the truth, as his attempted betrayal had been motivated solely by the concern for his daughter. As an adult, Luna would soon come to realise the truth about her father and accepted that some of his creatures did not exist. She married Rolf Scamander, grandson of the famous new Scamander, and the couple had twins, Lorcan and Lysander, thus making Xenophilius a grandfather. Xenophilius cared a great deal about his daughter and shared her strange beliefs. He was likely the cause of them. He thought the Daily Prophet was an awful paper and only published stories that he thought were important and needed to be known by the public. He was extremely firm in his bizarre beliefs and felt those who disbelieve in them are painfully limited, narrow and close-minded. Every time a skeptic demands the evidence for his beliefs, he in turn asked them to prove them untrue themselves. Given his tendency to believe in anything dubious and ridiculous, Xenophilius sometimes becomes the subject of pranks, such as when a young wizard gave him an Rumpet Horn and claimed that it belonged to a crumple-horned Snorkack. Unbeknownst to Lovegood, the Rumpet Horn will explode if given even the slightest touch. This also shows that he is ignorant about some magical creatures, as he was unable to identify the horn at first glance. Xenophilius also liked to experiment with magic. He actually attempted to recreate the diadem of Ravenclaw and its magical properties. Known as the Bust of Ravenclaw, it was partially destroyed with the implosion of his house. Xenophilius had a tendency to believe in things that others would struggle to. He believed in the Deathly Hallows, which in fact turned out to be real, but he also believed that gnomes had powerful magic, and that the dirigible plum would enhance one's ability to accept the extraordinary. Although he sought the Deathly Hallows, given his personality, he was likely interested in them more as a matter of curiosity about such unusual objects, rather than a desire to actually possess or use them. Due to the bizarre views of Xenophilius, the wizarding world saw him as senile. However, he did see success with his magazine The Quibbler, despite some of its unusual articles. According to Luna, her father did not care about making money and did not pay people to write for The Quibbler. She claims they did so because it was an honour to see their name in print. Thanks for watching everyone. My question for you is, do you believe that Xenophilius should have been outed for his behaviour that day when he tried to take down Harry, Ron and Hermione? Let me know in the comment section below. And that is all for today's video everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I encourage you to please subscribe and share my videos if you like my content, because without your help the channel cannot grow. And with that being said, making videos on a regular basis does cost time, money and a serious amount of effort. However, I absolutely love making videos. It's my dream and it's my passion. So if you'd like to contribute to helping the channel to grow for just $1 a month minimum through Patreon, it truly helps, and it means that I can put fewer ads in my videos as my Patreon grows. You don't have to donate, this is just on the kindness of your heart. The link is in the description below, and please make sure to check out my other videos that will appear on screen and my merchandise link below too. I also have a second channel called Game of Thrones Lore that will have regular content uploaded on it very soon. Thanks again for watching everyone, it means the world to me, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.